This is a quick little video on how to promote a commercial cleaning service through the Chamber of Commerce or local business associations. Now, this isn't trade associations, in the cleaning industry, but this is more focused on local business associations and the Chamber of Commerce. So the first question is, well, why would we want to join one of these associations? What's the benefit? They can cost anywhere from $200 or $300 a year up to thousands in major metro areas. And there's all kinds of benefits with health insurance and different paper products and office supplies. So you can always make your money back from that point. But what our goal here is to generate sales and to promote our commercial cleaning business, or commercial carpet cleaning, tile cleaning. It would all be the same. So a good sales plan always has multiple layers. So I'm not saying this is the only way. This is one tactic, and it's a really great tactic because there's multiple things you can do depending on what your budget is. The big thing is that we have a dedicated audience. So let's say, for argument's sake, there's 30,000 businesses in your market. Well, in one of these associations or Chamber of Commerce, there might only be 1,000 businesses or 5,000 businesses. So we can really narrow down the group of people who we are targeting. And that is a big deal for us because we're not these huge companies like IBM. So one of the challenges is we want to narrow that group down to a dedicated audience that we can hit over and over and over again for years and years. So the big thing I would say with associations and Chamber of Commerce is the difference between a cold campaign and a warm one. And I just made these numbers up, so don't go down the rabbit hole about the exact numbers. The point is, you are going to get whatever you do on a cold campaign. When you make a warm campaign, you're going to get a 20% better return. It might be 50% better or 100% better. It's all going to come down to the details of how good you're at it, how long that you stick with it, and all those details. But that's the point. So you pay the $300 or $500 a year to join this association with a benefit where you're not just going to sit there. You're going to run the same campaigns you normally would to cold prospects, but now you're going to get this big boost. So that's the big thing, is you're going to get a big boost. That's the payoff. So what are the types of campaigns you can run? Well, this is the great thing about Chamber of Commerce and associations. We have this dedicated audience, so we can run any tactic. We can run any campaign. And I would encourage multiple ones. So telemarketing, email, direct mail. You get a membership list, so this is really easy to do. You can even do door-to-door. Go stop by and introduce yourself to 5 or 10 members, especially if you live in a suburban market and there's a small one. Usually all the businesses in the main street will be members, and you could probably go and visit 10 of them all at once and introduce yourself. So the big thing is some credibility with all the branding and logos you can put on your website and all your marketing material. So that helps out a lot. That's kind of like a little small thing. The networking events, most of them have, or all of them have, some kind of a networking event every week or month. Some of them even have tip clubs, so you can get together with other salespeople or other small business owners. That'll all depend how big. You can also sponsor events. They generally have some kind of events, dinners, all kinds of programs they run. Or their email newsletter. Nowadays, they probably have an email newsletter. So they have sponsorship opportunities there and on their website. Just depends how far you want to get into this. I just wouldn't do the sponsorship type stuff unless you're going to do everything else. The sponsorship stuff is just going to make these other campaigns better. But you can't just sponsor an event and sit there. That's not going to be a good payoff. And the networking clubs. So the starting point is always how many hours a month do I want to put in this, and what is my budget? Then we can start to go through these tactics and decide which is the best one. Obviously, email is cheap, so that's always a good one to do a couple times a year. But then you'll have to decide for yourself. Direct mail, though, to other members is going to get you way better returns than a cold prospect list. First of all, you know for fact who the person is and who the decision maker is, because that's something you get as part of membership. So that's a big reason why direct mail is a really good one through a chamber of commerce. And just to ask yourself basic SWOT questions. What am I good at? If you're not good at networking and small talk, then maybe you won't do that one. Same with events. Are you good at that kind of stuff? If not, then maybe you'll try another tactic. So that's the whole point of doing SWOT, is to discover, it's not which one is best. All the tactics work to some degree. It's finding the best one for you, the one you can afford and also have the time for. So what kind, for the business associations, there's 40,000 of them throughout the country, and there is all kinds of different types from your regional or local city, town, chamber of commerce. And there's also, for almost every profession, manufacturing, restaurants, hotels, apartments, all of these associations, these business associations exist through all these different categories. For commercial cleaning, like janitorial, BOMA is a real big one. And also it can be manufacturers. For carpet cleaning, it might be like property investors. That might be a better one. And if you look it up, there's thousands of them out there in your area that you probably never even knew that existed. And some of them might be free even. So which is the best one? This is going to depend on what service you provide, how big your market is. If you want to start off, let's say you live in a suburban town and it's 50,000 people. That would be a great place to start because you're local, you drive around all the time. So that to me would be a good, but this is going to depend what kind of clients you want to go after. BOMA's good for the bigger ones. A lot of large companies and property managers. If you're in carpet or specialty work, apartment associations would be a good one, or maybe even a restaurant. It depends. That's something you'll have to decide. Where can I find them? The internet, of course. There's a directory of associations. This is like a master list. A simple way is to, actually it's probably funny, but like yellowpage.com. Or any of the Yellow Page online directories, that's the best place to start. They're all listed. If you just look up associations in your area, there'll be lists of hundreds and even thousands of them. So that's probably the quickest way, is the Yellow Pages online, locally. Specific campaigns, this is what I was trying to speak about earlier, that you have a dedicated list now. So then we can go about and go through some of these tactics. Telemarketing, cold calling, door-to-door, direct mail, email. The big thing with email, be careful, is because these are people that you want to build long-term relationships, you don't want to spam them. You want to be very careful about email, because if you spam them, they're going to hate you. Social media like LinkedIn, that would be a perfect place to look people up and make a connection, letting them know that you're a member. Or just in LinkedIn in general, and social media, letting people know you're a member. That can, especially for a local one, branding, networking, these are all the different opportunities that you have, the sponsorships that I went over initially. So this was a quick little video about joining a chamber of commerce and how to promote your cleaning business through them and where to find them and what are the different tactics that you can use. The best part about it is you have this dedicated list of prospects, and you can use like 10 or 15 different tactics. So you can kind of mix it up. There's not just one thing. You can decide for yourself how far you want to get into this. My name's Shane Dubell, and our company is methodcleanbiz.com. Visit our website for more resources.